Oh, didn't do it. Hey, yeah, I did it. Oh shit. What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods, and we will be reviewing the upcoming UFC 261 card. And with me, I have former U of MMA champion Pius Ina Lobo, better known as Voodoo Mata. The dog's barking. My wife is pissed.
And you already know who I'm sitting here with. None other than 8 a day, 8 podcasts a day Woods. All day, every day. We're about to get the show on the road, get it pumping. Let's go.
Let's go. Obviously, with a bit of news, like I want to start, and I think Christmas came early. Not that I'm betting on anybody's demise, but Tyron Woodley is gone from the UFC. I couldn't be more thrilled. I couldn't be more thrilled because here's the deal. That guy has been not exciting since UFC 209. We are literally talking about 261. That's 50 some odd UFCs ago. This guy hasn't been exciting. And he got knocked out pretty fucking bad the last time. So for his health, yes, I'm super glad that Tyron Woodley is gone from the UFC. I don't want to see him in my Bellator. I don't want to see him in my PFL. I just want him to go ahead and pursue all of the things that he said he wanted to do while he was in the UFC and not meet his obligations. So, yeah.
Someone like Tyron, I feel he has transcended. He has graduated, but he doesn't want to believe it. You know what I mean? I think the fighting thing has passed him. He's become something else. You know, perhaps he should look into the philosophical side of the arts if he still wants to be in it really, really bad like that. He should look into writing something down rather than staying in the cage. I don't feel he has that eye of the tiger like he would like to say. He doesn't have that anymore. I mean, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. Now, can Tari compete? I believe Tari can compete. He is still, you know, one of the best in the world, right? That said, that Tyron Woodley that was there knocking suckers out, that guy's gone. That guy's gone. It seems that guy is more mature now. You know what I mean? And it's time to find something new. Not that you can't compete anymore. That's not what I'm saying, Tyron. I'm saying it's time to be an actor. It's time to be a rapper. It's time. It's time to do something different. That's pretty much where I'm at. I mean, you're a great commentator. You know what I mean? You can still make money. He's got lots of different skills and avenues that he can jump on that will be profitable for him. So let go of the fight. Let it go. You know what I mean? The fight doesn't want you anymore. So find another way to remain in the game and still be at the highest level.
Nope, 1000%. So again, not like I said, not pining for anybody's demise, but again, I think for the longevity of the person that is Tyron Woodley, not the chosen one, Tyron Woodley, the fighter, right? This is a good move, right? Because unfortunately, he's already been a Strikeforce champion. He's already been an amazing wrestler. He's already been UFC champion. He's got nothing left to prove. I hope that he proves it to himself because he is a catalyst of almost like hero type adulation, and rightfully so, for a lot of young and up and coming fighters, right? So, with that all being said, hey, if it's hard for him to kind of peel away, what is it going to mean for their career trajectory that like they literally have to kick you out the door? That's not what you want to happen.
Yeah, and furthermore, I was really thrown off by that Jake fellow and his corner. When he was there to watch the hands get wrapped, the way they spoke to him, he didn't deserve that. This is a multi champion. multiple defenses. You know, when you stay, hey, there's an African proverb that goes, when you sit too long on Dookie, all sorts of dirty flies will meet you there. And that's what we're having here. Tyron has sat too long on his Dookie, and these dirty flies, like the Jake Paul and that other fella with the glove. You know, what do you know about this? What you know about this? That fella. You know, those are the dirty flies that are buzzing around Tyron Woodley now. So he's got to wipe his butt and get away from the Dookie, flush the Dookie, and move on.
No, 100%, 100%. So now that we've got that bit of order out of the way, we are at the task at hand. Tomorrow night, as we're filming this here, UFC 261. This is headlined by essentially the rematch of Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. Usman Masvidal too. You know, so there's that. But getting into the first fight of the card, we have I love it because we've got Chinese, you know, maybe it might be the Zhang Weili's, you know, kind of influence on the card, where we got the, you know, Chinese Mongolian fighters. And starting off the card, we have I'm going to think it's Ling Na rather than Na Ling because of the Zhang Weili deal, right? And she's 15-4. The number 4 ranked like 115 pounder in all of China. Again, China, 7 billion people, and she's number 4. That says something to me. But she's facing a venerable Ariane Carnelossi, who's 12-2 from Brazil. In the world, she's ranked the number 47th ranked strawweight. This one is going to be somebody might die.
Hey, this one, man, we've got the Dragon Girl versus Ariana Soriso versus the Dragon Girl. 5'5" versus 5'2". I'm looking at Liang Na and lots of submission victories. Some KOs, some losses by KO, some losses by knockout. But ultimately, very good, complete fighter. Opponent, very good striker. Very, very good striker. Multiple wins by knockout. Unanimous decisions. Prefers to stand, right? So this is great. Now, will Liang stand with Ariane? I do not think that will be the case. I think that inside Muay Thai is where she is from, by the way. She is going to want to stand, and if I was a Chinese girl, I would take her down to the ground. She's primarily a striker, right? So yes, I can strike with her, even though I have that option. Why risk the damage? Why risk the damage? So if she has very good coaching, they will advise her to take Soriso down as soon as possible and look for that submission. Ground and pound if necessary, but look for that submission. So this particular one, but will she be able to take her down? That's the thing. Will she be able to take her down? But I'm still gonna go with Liang Na anyway. Split decision victory. It's gonna be a tough fight. There will be blood. But
absolutely, and
I think Liang will win.
Yeah, I'm of the same ilk. Early on in her career, she beat Liliana Jojua, right? So that's I mean, Jojua is now in the UFC as well.
Yeah,
it'd be a fun little kind of ode to years gone by to kind of revisit that all these years later and see who would win, test their mettle. So I'm going to go the same way. Nothing against Ariane, but it just seems like Ling is a little bit more well-rounded in terms of the martial artists. There's submissions as well as decisions, literally for 15 wins. So just saying, she has more kind of she's got more skills to kind of be the
and for her to be number 4 woman in China, against all that competition. All that competition. Look at that population, man. They have billions of people. And for her to be number 4, you know what I mean? She must be special. So I'm looking
No,
forward to that particular matchup opening up this card.
no, 100%. Like I said, I think we might see like some sort of. It's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be
Hmm.
yeah. It's gonna be crazy, and couldn't think of a better fight to essentially kick off the card, right?
That's
So
right. That's right.
going up in weight in the men's flyweight division, we have El Jefe, Jeff Molina
Hmm.
against the Mongolian murderer. That's that's what he's going with. But Kiling Aori, who's
Hmm.
18-6, right?
Hmm.
Literally on a one, two, three, four, five, six fight, yeah, 6 fight winning streak. He hasn't
Hmm.
lost a MMA contest since September of 2018, right?
Hmm.
But
Yep.
even before that, he was on a 4 fight winning streak. Uh, he lost to Katara France back in
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
So he's a tenured veteran of MMA.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, El Jefe has got something for him. We're sporting an 8-2 record, and El Jefe is on a whoa, good lord, 7 fight winning streak.
Yes.
Uh, Jesus Louises. Who takes the L here? Who snaps the streak, so to speak? Voodoo Mac.
Hmm. Whew, man. This one also is a very, very beautiful match for the males to open up the card. We have one phenomenal female matchup, and now we have a male matchup. It's just fantastic. Uh, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Jeff Molina is in here, and just like you just said. I mean, I'm looking over. He's beating Joey Estrada. You know what I mean? Jacob Silva, Chance Camacho. I'm like, he's in there, and he's beating people that I know. You know, he's beating people that I know, and that's quite impressive to me. So I don't know many people. You know, and he's what 2, 4, 6, 7 fight win streak going up against a the Mongolian murderer. What a name, by the way. What a name to to with all certainty go with a nickname like that. You know, he's coming in there. He's letting you know off the jump that he's coming in there. He's coming to smash you up, however possible. He's got armbar victories. He's make people quit, retirement in the second round, KOs. He's a complete fighter, is what we're seeing here. He's a complete fighter, able to take the win any way necessary. Okay, so we have a complete mixed martial artist against a very, very good dynamic striker. Will the speed of the young El Jefe matter in this particular matchup? Or will the sizzled veteran nullify and disrupt the flow of the young El Jefe? That's a very tough matchup, man. I don't even know what to pick. But I like that nickname so much. I'm going with the Chinese fella, man. You know,
Okay.
I'm going with Ari to win this one. Let's go
Yeah, you know what?
50-50 on that, huh?
I want to. Everything in my power wants me to do it, but I just think they're so closely matched up that I'm
Yeah.
going to go the other way. And
Okay, let's go
all well
50-50.
knowing, all well knowing that I could be absolutely wrong and you could be right, and vice versa. This is,
Yeah.
styles make fights, and this is one of
Yeah.
those stylistic matchups. That's literally a masterpiece of brutalization that is going to be like painted right in front of our very eyes tomorrow night. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm not mad at this one at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not at all.
Absolutely.
It
Now
just keeps getting better. It keeps getting better and better, man.
it keeps getting better. And when Dana White, usually it's hyperbole that Dana White says, "Oh man, we've stacked the deck. We've stacked this card. This is a stacked card." No, no,
Mm-hmm.
no. This no bullshit. Dana White stacked the card, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
He wants that $70. He's gonna make you work for it. And speaking of work for it, yeah, I'm not mad at this prediction. I will actually say this might be one of the. I mean, both of these ones. Um,
Mm-hmm.
are the first two matchups on the card. are contenders for fight of the night, I think, in my estimation. But um, you know what? I'm not mad at the money that UFC has to pay their fighters more, right? In terms of performance bonus and what have you, right? So I'm going to say both of these contenders, right? They're going to be in the mix, right? But they've got a lot of competition. It's like back in the day when you're watching like, oh, America's Funniest Home Videos and whatever. You're like, oh, that's the one that's going to win. They picked
Yeah.
three you didn't even think about, whatever, and then even the one that you thought about doesn't win the 10 grand. That's
Yeah.
exactly here. And instead of 10 grand, it's $50,000. So again, I hope literally everybody on the card gets a extra $50,000, and I think they're absolutely applicable for such.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I agree. 100%. And the fight just keeps getting better, man. Better. I'm sitting over here in bliss, man. It's like, wow. I mean, those girls, man, they're gonna bang it out.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by the next fight, they're gonna bang it out too. You know what I mean? And then we got this third fight coming up, man. We got Rong Zhu versus Rodrigo Vargas. What's your say on these two fellas?
Man, so Zurong, I love his name. First off,
Mm-hmm.
like he can do Zoo wrong. Right? Like it's tremendous. It's tremendous. He's the number one lightweight in China, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
17-3 is his record. And again,
Mm-hmm.
this is why it's awesome to have Zhang Wei Li, be on this card because I think a lot of the folks are her country mates, right? But
Mm-hmm.
Zhu Rong is literally, oh my god, this dude, that song about like all you want to do is win. That's
Yeah.
what this guy does, right? Started off his career, 4 fight winning streak, 2 fight losing streak, 3 fight
Mm-hmm.
winning streak, one loss,
Mm-hmm.
and then goes from 2018. He doesn't lose a fight. We got one,
Mm-hmm.
two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like
Mm-hmm.
double digits in terms of
Mm-hmm.
wins
Mm-hmm.
record, right? And this, I mean, this is his UFC debut, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of that is going to play into his head. But
Mm-hmm.
Rodrigo Vargas, Kazula, right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is amazing in his own right. 11-4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, the last time that we saw him was when he lost to Brock Weaver,
Yeah.
right? He literally
Yeah.
looked like one of those guys from the what is it? The Game of Thrones, the
Mm-hmm.
Spirit
Mm-hmm.
Walkers. Brock Weaver
Mm-hmm.
looked like Spirit Walker, but unfortunately, Rodrigo Vargas hit Brock Weaver with the illegal knee and what have you. So he had his win and knockout taken away from him, rightfully
Mm-hmm.
so. Again,
Mm-hmm.
down opponent, that makes all the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, he's back. And unfortunately, he's a Combate veteran, has beaten Danny the Realist Ramirez in Combate,
Mm-hmm.
Mike De La Torre in
Mm-hmm.
Combate, the Warriors Cage veteran, right? But unfortunately, his UFC kind of prospects have 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 gone from him. The loss, unanimous decision loss to Alex de Silva, and then having his what could have been a win for him overturned, and given to Brock Weaver, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
man, I I like this fight. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this might sound like a broken record tonight, but this could also be one of the fight of the night recipients because both men have something to prove, and again,
Yeah.
a will to win,
Yeah.
and that's always important when it comes to combat sports. So
That's right.
I'm gonna go with Zoo wrong, but I know
Mm-hmm.
100% that I could be wrong for the
Mm-hmm.
fun, and it could be Rodrigo Vargas. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not mad at either way. But what say
Mm-hmm.
you?
This particular one, Rodrigo Vargas, uh, he is that guy that has been able to combine the wrestling world with the jiu-jitsu world. He is able to get effective submission using wrestling techniques, right? He's got enough power in his hands such that if he lands on you, he will knock you out. But he is not a technician. He is not a technician. Right now, he's a very good grappler. I'll give him that. Very good grappler, but a striker he is not. Because Rung will show you what good striking is. when they get in there. I see a lot of Vargas initiating the clinch, trying to, and if Ron can establish his distance using that jab, those straight punches, side kicks, you know what I mean, roundhouse occasionally, he'll be able to hold off Mr. Vargas and possibly finish him in the second round. But he's got to be able to execute that. If he's not able to, he could still win, but he'll win by split decision. But I see him winning in the second round by knockout. Wrong. Knockout. Second round.
No, I like it. I like it. I like it 100%. And again, these first three fights, woo, buddy, man, we're off to the damn races, you know? So, and again, here's another instance where we're going to do it. And I think this might get the KO of the night because we've got we've got Dana.
Dana!
Yes, which I know they're going to be like, no, it's Diamante or whatever. You know? But he's facing an LFA veteran in Kevin Natividad. Now, Dana has 8-2. This gentleman, the Storm, right? The flight. I mean, he's from Mongolia, right? Training out of Jackson Wink, right? But he KO'd his opponent, Guido Canatelli, right? Cananetti, right? I'm sorry, Cananetti. He KO'd him back in March of last year, right? With left hook, right? And you know, he's a staple and a stalwart of the Mongolian MMA scene, right? But on the other side of the octagon is Kevin Natividad, a gentleman that you and I first became aware of back in LFA, where he fought card with his brother, and they both collected wins. That fateful night. Now, Quicksand Natividad, right? Unfortunately got KO'd in his first entry to the UFC by Miles Johns, right? But his last win was on the undercard of the inaugural LFA strawweight fight between Sam Hughes and Vanessa Lil Monster Demopoulos, that otherwise known as LFA 85, right? So, man, I don't want to pick against the Hawaiian. Damn it.
But resistance is futile in this case. Resistance is futile. Dana! Dana! I don't call him Dana! That guy is a striking machine. Striking machine. Hey, look. From the first fight to this one right here, if I had to choose one for fight of the night, it will be this particular one right here. Dana versus Kevin. We have Mongolia versus the United States. Hawaii Island. It's going to be, I don't see this one right here. I don't see much grappling in here because Kevin Natividad, you know them island boys, man. They throw their hands. I mean, it's a mixed martial arts fight. If it goes down to the ground, he'll do what he has to do. But I know for a fact, Kevin's one of them dudes that'll die on his shield, standing, than being choked out on the ground or going for the takedown and going for a choke. It's not going to happen like that. But unfortunately, he's in there with a killer, man. He's in there with a killer. Baggerel, if he doesn't get the knockout in the third, it'll be a unanimous decision victory for Dana Baggerel. He's going to win. But it's going to be a beautiful match.
It is. Beautiful display of violence. 100%. 100%. Now, we have in the featherweight division, we have Tristan Connolly of Canada, 14-6. And he's going up against America's own Pat Sabatelli. Now, Tristan Connolly, or as he's otherwise known as Boondock, because I want to believe he's a fan of the comment, but he is literally on a 5-fight win streak that has spanned 3 different promotions. Those promotions, Cage Sport, Final Fight Championship, Rise, and UFC. Actually, 4 fights. So 5-fight win streak in 4 different promotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his last win coming uh, on a unanimous decision win over Michel Pereira, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
on the other side, we've got Pat Sabatelli, 13-3,
Mm-hmm.
#1 ranked featherweight in his particular region, a veteran of the CFFC. Um, Basically, in CFFC 84 and 85, he if the 2 ways that you can finish a fight in MMA, right?
Mm-hmm.
KO, submission. Well, he does
Mm-hmm.
both. He
Mm-hmm.
knocks out Jordan Titoni back
Mm-hmm.
at CFFC 84 in
Mm-hmm.
September of last year, and rounds out the year basically submitting via armbar Jesse Sturrin
Mm-hmm.
back in December. So Christmas come early.
Mm-hmm.
Whoo, buddy,
Mm-hmm.
this is gonna be a fight. This is gonna be
Yeah,
a fight. This is gonna
this
be
one's gonna be this one's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. I can't believe this card. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's exhausting. You know what I mean? This card is gonna be crazy, man. I just can't believe they were able to pull this off. And the fact that they pulled it off in the very first card that's gonna have a full audience, they're gonna lose their minds, man. The audience is gonna lose their minds, man. But this particular matchup, man, Tristan, I've seen him fight before, and he's a beautiful technician. He's been fighting since what 2010, I thought about 2010. Yeah, he's been fighting since 2010, and he's put together a nice win streak, a 5-5 win streak. The last person he beat, Michel Pereira, that guy's a little reckless. He's a little reckless, and for Tristan to be able to piece him up and finish him with a unanimous decision victory, that tells you the IQ of Canelli here. Canelli is a special fighter, and he's going in there against the American, who's a savage grappler, savage grappler. You won't see many knockout victories here. It's all submission. He's either gonna submit you, ever since amateur. He's either gonna submit you or he's gonna dominate you. That means he wasn't able to submit you, but he controlled every aspect of that match because you were on your back and he was looking for the submission, or he was on your back, or just he had dominant position the entire match. This is how this guy wins. Now, Tristan is very, very capable of getting back up if he's taken down, defending against the takedown, and maintaining his distance. So he would do lots and lots of damage. If he doesn't get the knockout, he'll get the split decision victory. I'm still going with Tristan on this one.
I like it. I like it. I'm gonna go the other way again. And it's not the besmirch you in one I again, it's so close that
It's so close.
it's so close, so close. So I'm gonna go with that. And again, I know full on well that I might be absolutely wrong, but that's
Hey, me too.
yeah.
Me too. They got to go out there and prove it, right?
You say that, but I also think that Dana White and the UFC should just damn cut your losses and go like before everybody gets out there, just don't $50,000 check to each of them and just let them, because that's essentially what's going to happen. It's everyone. You're gonna wish that you had $50,000 more to each of these fighters to basically do what they do. So again, I'm absolutely excited.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Absolutely. Now we've got Brandon All In Allen, 15-4, right? And he is going up against one Carl Robertson, right? Now, it's crazy because since his loss to Shane Strickland, which ended up being, Strickland's re-debut in the UFC, because obviously Sean Strickland had a motorcycle accident that put him on the shelf for many years, right? Literally, halted his career. But unfortunately for Brandon All In Allen, he was the lamb to the slaughter to a returning Sean Strickland, right? But he kept, he kept active, right? Fight to win. He basically does a grappling bout, right? To kind of keep his skills sharp. and now he's back in here. He's a principal specialist out of Rufus Sport under the great Duke of Rufus, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now on the other side of the docket, 9-3, Baby K, Carl Robertson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, lost to Marvin Vettori, um, but that's not bad, right? Because Marvin Vettori, it was just announced that he is the next contender to Israel Adesanya, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
hey, who's to say that we get that one run back? You know, should Marvin Vittori defeat Israel Adesanya, which that's a pipe dream. I mean, we're 3 days past 420, and that's a pipe dream because I think I don't care who you put in front of him, aside in his weight division, mind you, um,
Mm-hmm.
Adesanya is going to win. And again, I'm not a fan of Adesanya, but that's it. But that's where BBK Carl Robinson, he basically got put to sleep via rear naked choke in the very first round in his fight with Marvin Vettori, right? But prior to that, it was on a two-fight win streak, um, both in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
July and November, respectively, where he got a split decision win over Wellington Turman and
Yeah.
Roman Kopylov got a
Yeah.
rear naked choke. So it's crazy, kind of symbolic, right? He chokes out Roman Kopylov in 2019, and almost, I mean, less than a year later, he gets finished by Tori the very same manner, same show, what have you. So that's crazy. But who do you have here in this particular instance?
This one's another tough matchup. Tough matchup. Brandon Allen, he is a complete fighter. He is young in the game. He is young in the game, but he is young in the game and he has more fights than his opponent. But he is young in the game. But also he's a complete fighter. But then we have Carl Roberson. He is an established fighter. Excellent striker. I'm not sure about his grappling. I'm not sure. But his striking and his opponent, Brandon Allen's grappling, complement each other, which is where we are. Which is where I am in regards to the 50-50. Um, Experience versus youth is what we're dealing with here. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go 50-50 with you again. So I'll pick Allen and you get Carl Roberson.
Sorry, I think it's fair. I muted myself. Good lord, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah,
But no, I.
yeah,
So yeah, if you go Brendan Allen, I'll go Baby K Robertson. It could go either way. Could
yeah.
go
I could.
either way. Again, I'm so happy as a fan, right? And to have so many kind of like you don't know, and that's
Yeah,
essentially what you want, right? Is
yeah.
to suspend disbelief, or like you don't want the oh this person is gonna slaughter this other person. No, no, no. You want competitive,
Hmm.
right? You
Yes,
don't want
yes,
that. You know, a
yes.
knockout where you thought a submission would happen, a decision where you thought a knockout would happen. It's just
That's right.
so this is going to be a reason why we kind of love MMA because you just know you won't know what happens until the final bell sounds. Essentially,
Hmm. Yeah, and that's what's so great about it, man. I'm very proud of these matchmakers for this one, man. And I'm happy. I'm so happy that they didn't lose many matches. I mean, they only lost two. Johnny Munoz couldn't find an opponent twice, so that's not bad at all. I mean, we've seen 8 and 9 canceled fights. You know what I'm saying? All these short notices. But
mm-hmm.
these guys are well prepared. They know who they're fighting. They're well prepared, and they're coming out to thousands and thousands of fans. And it's just an exciting moment in the history of mixed martial arts.
No, 1,000%, 1,000%. Now you just said that, and I think it's absolutely apropos because that is indicative of the next fight that we're going to see. We have Dwight Grant, 10
Hmm.
and 3. 10-3, right? The
Hmm.
body snatcher, he calls himself. Which
Hmm.
I believe the last time that we saw that, Daniel Rodriguez actually snatched his body in a first round KO win, right?
Yeah.
That was it.
Hmm.
But in this particular instance, he will be back. right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he is facing Stefan Sekulic, right?
Yes.
And Stefan Sekulic, 12-3, right? He, again, one of these guys, all he does is win, right? Because, again, 3 losses, but he was on a 4-fight winning streak, right? In the Serbian. He's Serbian,
Mm-hmm.
of Serbian descent, right? So on the Serbian regional circuit, 4-fight win streak, runs into David Zawada, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that was his first loss of his career. Then he goes on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fight win streak, loses to Adriano Baldi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then goes on another 2-fight win streak. Jesus, three win streaks in his
Mm-hmm.
career. But then unfortunately loses his UFC debut to Ramazan Emeev back
Mm-hmm.
in 2018, right? So
Mm-hmm.
long sabbatical, 3 years sabbatical since the last time that we saw him in the UFC octagon. Um, I think he wants to try and make good of, what was supposed to be a homecoming party that
Mm-hmm.
got reported. You want to say that he wants to make good, but he's got Dwight Grant. Dwight Grant,
Mm-hmm. The
scary.
body snatcher.
Yes.
He's got the body snatcher. This one right here is another potential fight of the night in my book, man. It's off the chain. It's off the chains. You got the body snatcher. The body
Yeah.
snatcher, excellent striker, man. Excellent striker. Stefan, also excellent striker. You look at his record and you see guillotine choke, guillotine choke, guillotine. There's only one reason why he's got so many guillotine chokes. Not because he's a grappler, because he has excellent wrestling takedown defense. When they shoot that head in there, they stick it in there, he snatches the neck. You know, that this is his counter to the takedown attempt from his opponent. So he's not looking for any takedowns. Understand that this particular matchup will be on the feet. It will be on the feet. There will be no takedown attempts in this one. It's going to be a slobber knocker, and I'm looking forward to it. However, I am picking the body snatcher to snatch this fella's body, if not his soul.
Yeah. All right. So I think that is the first consensus pick of the night. We got Dwight Grant going over Stefan Sekulic, and possibly that might be. I'm saying third round KO because
Yeah,
the Serbian is going to be tough to put away. But
yeah.
I believe Dwight Grant is the person to do it, and when he does it,
Mm-hmm.
third round.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, these two fellas are so volatile that it could happen within the first minute.
Hundred
You know what I
percent.
mean? Somebody could go to sleep.
Absolutely, absolutely. So amazing. Now the fans in the ViStar Arena aren't going to be falling asleep there in Jacksonville because we've got Jamaican Randy Brown, 12-4 against 22-9. The Cowboy uh, Charles Oliveira, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This one is fun, right? Now, unfortunately, the last time that we saw Rude Boy Randy Brown in the octagon, it was in a loss to Vicente Luque
Mm-hmm.
last year in August, right? But he had essentially he was on a 2-fight winning streak that encompassed Brian Barberena as well as
Mm-hmm.
Rolly Alves,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And finished them both, right? Knee and then punches with Barberena, and then Wally Alvarez finished with the triangle choke, right? But
Mm-hmm.
man, I talk about one of the tenured vets in the UFC. Look no further than Carlos. Alex Oliveira, the Cowboy. That's what I did. Cowboy
Mm-hmm.
and Alex, I put them together. Dumb me, dumb me. But
Mm-hmm.
Um, unfortunately, uh, the last time that we saw him on the also in a loss against Shavkat Rakhmonov, right? And he lost
Mm-hmm.
a guillotine choke, but he has a unanimous decision and a split decision win over Peter Sabota and Max Griffin, respectively, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, man. Unfortunately, I think this one is the one that puts Alex Oliveira away. This might not be the most exciting fight, right?
Yes.
But I believe Randy Brown will get a decision on Alex Oliveira.
This one here, it's so hard to tell. Their skill, their skill and attack type. They have pretty much the same skill and attack type. The only thing is, Alex Oliveira is a little older. He's got more experience. So if anyone gets caught slipping, it's gonna be Randy Brown. Um, I'll take Oliveira for this one. For me, it's a 50-50. I'll take Oliveira though.
Okay, I like it. And you know what's crazy, right?
Yeah.
All of the fights that we just mentioned, right? All of those bangers, all of those ones that we thought were going to be fight of the night candidates, those are
Yes.
all going to be on free TV. If you got the ESPN app, that is just that's the early prelim and the prelims. That's it. It's crazy because
Oh yeah.
we start off in the main card, right? Because we have Lionheart Anthony Smith, former UFC title contender against Australia's Jimmy Crute, right? Anthony Smith, 34-16. Um, I mean, again, former UFC title contender against John Jones, right? What's to say? You know, before he entered the UFC, one of the most like tenured kind of fighters fighting outside of the organization, right? Fought in strike, fought everywhere, right? But Jimmy Crute is damn near undefeated, 12-1 record for Jimmy Crute, and of course he's Jimmy the Brute Crute, because why not? That's how you use your nickname, right? But he's got wins over Stefan Warby, Ben Kelleher, uh, Chris Bircher, and Dana White's Contender Series, where he finished Chris Bircher first round KO, right? Kamord Paul Craig, KO'd our friend Usman Alvi, right? Yeah, and then my favorite fighter to say, I know it's Modestas Bukakas, but I Bukaki, right? Jimmy Crute basically finished off Modelo Bukaki in the very first round, but by KOing him, right?
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Crute is gonna beat the ever living shit out of Anthony Smith. It's gonna be one of those ones where you're gonna be blaming his coaches for not taking him out and all that jazz. Again, we've seen that song and dance. Like he's gonna look like he got hit by a fucking train.
Hey,
I'm sorry, Matthews. I'm sorry, Matthews.
I see an upset coming, man. I see an upset coming. I see Anthony Smith using his wisdom, not his brawn, his brain. He's gonna use his brain to beat the young man. The young man is gonna slip up, and he's gonna get submitted. I see him getting submitted. He's gonna be taken down a lot. Anthony Smith, if at this point in the game, you know what I mean? If he's still in there trying to slug it out with these young kids, then he deserves to be knocked out. But I do not think he's going to take that route. I mean, the man does have a commentating gig on the side. These dudes, man, they are thinking about the future already. And he is thinking about, how can I get out of this match with the least injury? You know what I mean? He's been fighting for too long. He's fought so many people. Like, I think he's got double-digit losses. You know what I mean? So he's going to come in there. He'll strike as much as necessary until he can get the takedown. And I think he's going to be quite nice with the takedown. He will be quite nice with the ground game. And I see either a split decision victory or a submission in the third round.
Okay.
Anthony Smith.
With the literal like litter of children that Anthony Smith has, I hope you're right.
Right.
But I'm just saying, it's like I said, I'm going with the Brute.
Yeah. I totally understand, man. The kid's a savage, man. He's a savage. He knocks everybody out. Straight savage. But then that right there, that success, could be also his kryptonite. It's a delicate balance. It's a delicate balance. One, I feel Anthony Smith will be able to
Yep.
walk. He'll be able to walk that tightrope.
100%. And one thing that I'm hoping that we don't get in the next fight is a delicate battle. I want to absolute, unabashed, just slaughter, right? Because we have 16-9 Uriah Hall, right, against former UFC 185-pound champion uh, Chris Weidman, or as Ronan, the great wrestler from Mexico, says, Weidman, Chris Weidman. I'm going to go with that because you're damn high, Chris Weidman, to think that Anderson Silva didn't deserve a third fight with you. Because again, you wrote the damn playbook that Alexander Volkanovski fucking is playing right now, right? Because first time Anderson Silva beat himself, right? Was bullshit, dancing around. You KO'd him, cool, right? Second one, injury. The fact that you didn't give that legend a fucking rematch, and I could tell, I'm the first one to go like hell, the main character, like the main event. Why do we need to see it? It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna go any way different than the first time. Full training camp or otherwise, right? So why do we need to see it, right? So, but this particular instance with Weidman and Silva, I'm still hot about it. So fuck Weidman. I'm going with Uriah Primetime Hall, 100%, 100%. I hope he channels that, Ultimate Fighter Uriah Hall, where he is knocking motherfuckers like stiff. They look like they fucking got hit with Medusa. Like they fucking looked into Medusa's eyes, but it wasn't Medusa's eyes that turned him to stone. It was Uriah Hall's fucking heel. That's what happened. That's what happened. So I want to beat the shit out of Chris Weidman, right? I want that because at times he kind of borders almost like Roxanne Modafferi, and like you're a fucking killer, right? But like you don't want to turn it on. They're too nice. I don't want you, Uriah Hall, to be nice with Chris Weidman. He's earned this ass whipping. Damn near it's coming. So beat the shit out of him. That's all I got to say.
Yes. Hey, you have the wrestler and you have the striker. This is your classic matchup. They have fought before in the past, and Chris Weidman's wrestling was key in the victory. He caught him with some kind of punch. However, the wrestling was what made that punch available. So now you have 10 years or so later, one went on to become a champion. One is still on his way to the top. So what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? I have to choose one person. I also will be choosing Uriah Hall. I think it's his time now. Chris Weidman has been to the mountaintop. He has fought many, many tough, stiff competition. I believe his body is broken. You can only go so far at such a high level, fighting the very, very best for so long. I think he's damaged. Uriah hasn't had the opportunity to face that type of competition. I think he is seasoned now. I think he is getting to that point. He's starting to understand his cause, why he's here. And I see him winning this match. His takedown defense is going to be spectacular. His range is going to be spectacular. His jabs is going to be crisp. And he's going to knock out Chris Weidman in the second round.
I like it. Now, you said that, it's Uriah Hall's time. Motherfucker's 36. If he doesn't fucking do that, Father Time will come get his ass. Like, and this is and again, it's a bit of a humble pie for Weidman, right? And you're talking about heartbreaking. How do you think fucking Anderson Silva filed, right? After he can fucking continue. Hell, look at what happened with Jesus Christ, Michael Chandler, right? When he lost the title, the Bellator World title to Brett Primus back in Bellator in Madison Square Garden. That motherfucker tried to come back up on the fucking foot. Like that's what Chandler is, right? So
Yeah.
just saying, like, I'm not saying that I want, fucking Chris Weidman to break his shit, but I'm also saying I want Uriah Hall to fucking
To win.
KO dead, like dead dick in the dirt. I don't want a
Mm-hmm.
rematch. I don't want to hear like a fucking Weidman fucking Hall two. No, 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 not especially at the stage and the age that these two guys are. Fuck it, And even after this, I don't know if Uriah Hall becomes champion or even a title contender because again, he has this weird deal where he like forgets he's a fighter and wants to fucking I don't know, like be one of those people that sign up people's names for green priests and wants you to donate money and shit like that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with it, but you're a fighter first. Like
Yeah.
you get to fighting, damn it. So I want Uriah Hall without a shadow of that to not like again that Ultimate Fighter season fucking Uriah Hall that shit
Mm-hmm.
that shit on fucking Weidman and
Mm-hmm.
you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Hey, me too, man. I'm all for it, 100%. But forget Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman has taken enough of our time. He doesn't even deserve our time like that. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't deserve our time like that. But Valentina Shevchenko, Jessica Andrade, now we're talking. Now we're talking
Yes.
because this right here is the first title fight of this main event, man. You have the champ, the very best in the world, Valentina Shevchenko going up against Jessica Andrade. What's your say, Mr. Woods? What's your say on this particular matchup? What do you think is going to happen?
So I mean, obviously Andrade is a former champion in her own right, but God, Valentina Shevchenko, right? You talk about like the who is it? The Mannings, right? You've got
Mm-hmm,
Peyton Manning, football great, and
mm-hmm.
then you've got the other what is it, Eli Manning, right?
Yes.
And he's won a championship and everything like that. And he's still fucking old as shit, getting that New York money or whatever. But all intents and purposes, the better one, right,
Mm-hmm,
was Peyton, right? Got Brett in
mm-hmm,
Owen Hart. Even though Brett was champion, Owen Hart, even Brett will tell you, is probably the better Hart, right? So
yep,
we have an
yep.
instance, right, where we've got
Mm-hmm,
Valentina, right, and Antonina, her younger sister, right, and they're traveling the world with their coach Pavel, right, just like in traveling the world, kicking ass, shooting guns and shit like that.
mm-hmm,
I mean, theoretically, this is like an American story come to life, but they're not
mm-hmm.
American at all, But God, Valentina's scary. And as much as I would like to see Andrade come back to her winning ways, fuck, the buck stops here. Like
Hey.
the Valentina is scary, even when she's smiling. Like she's smiling and doing that fucking dance. I like. I haven't felt as scared of something like that on my fucking TV in terms of
Mm-hmm,
athletes since fucking Undertaker was putting motherfuckers in body bags, Paul Bear and the urn. Oh yes. No, Valentina Shevchenko scares the shit out of me. That's the win.
hey, let me tell you something, man. The hardest hidden female right now in the UFC, in women's fighting, in women's MMA, the hardest hitter, the Lioness, fought her twice and couldn't knock her out.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't land a solid shot. And she's got great boxing and great hand speed. Now, Jessica Andrade, even though a power puncher in her own right, she doesn't have the speed to go hand to hand with Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina is the type of fighter that punches and bunches. But she's not only going to punch you, she's going to slide her elbow in there. She's going to slide a knee in there. She's going to slide a head kick in there, low kick, combinations galore. And they're all coming at supersonic speed. Jessica Andrade, lots of hooks. Valentina will slide right down that middle and finish her in the third round. You watch and see. She will be finished. She just doesn't know what's about to hit her. It's going to be vicious. People think Jessica Andrade is going to be the competition. It's not. It's more lopsided than they think because Andrade doesn't even kick. She only boxes, and she's going in there against someone who's got all the weapons, at least 8 weapons. 8. You have 8-2. Good luck with that one. Those odds. I am picking the champ for the KO no later than the 3rd round.
I like it. Yeah, same. So same. It's the champ routines, which I mean that's I think that's kind of the auspices that I'm going to work in even in the next fight because the next fight we have the co-main events of the evening. We have the reigning and defending strawweight champion of the world, UFC strawweight champion of the world, one Zhang Weili, 21-1, right? And she's going up against, if I could paraphrase from the great Daniel Cormier, fuck Rose, fuck Rose, fuck Rose, right? Rose not a unit, fuck Rose, right? 9-4. And geez, I can tell you about the fucking tail of the tape and whatever. You remember I was talking about how Valentina Shevchenko scared the shit out of me, right? There also was another female that scared the shit out of me, and her name was Joanna Jędrzejczyk, right? And I never thought that I would get Star Trek in my UFC, but on the night that Zhang Weili, that was literally the last thing that my wife and I did right before the COVID shutdowns was a birthday party, and they also had the fight playing, right? So with that all being said, Zhang Weili turned Joanna Jędrzejczyk into a fucking Klingon. Shit was growing out of her fucking head. That's holy hell. Zhang Weili. That is my pick. Nothing against Thug Rose, but again, Thug Rose, after she lost the title, she almost had to go on a vision quest and all that jazz and, kind of redefine. She can contemplate a retirement. Now, I understand because she was also one of those people who were kind of the victims of the Conor McGregor, bust through dolly through the window deal, right? So, unfortunately, that's not, right? But Zhang Weili doesn't give a shit about emotion. He doesn't give a shit about mental, right? Like she just, and the funny thing about it is, like you talk a lot about fighters, right? That are from other countries, international markets, if you will.
Yes.
Here in North America, them needing to learn English and what have you, right? I get it, and that is true, right? But if you ever seen a damn clip of Zhang Weili trying to learn English and what have you, it's like the sweetest thing, right? She's like, she's Chinese, but she might as well be, a slice of American pie, girl next door, kind of bashful, whatever, and she just turns out to be an ass kicker, right? She's dominant, right? And she's made use. Even the fact that she doesn't speak English, she has carved more than a niche, like a loyal following, right? Across all social media platforms, across, just her being her, right? Like that's the it factor, right? Where she might not even be the fucking most correct charismatic person, right? She might not speak English, but she captures your attention. She has that it factor. In addition to her fight acumen. I'm just saying, Zhang Weili is, if they play it right, what they wanted Ronda to be in that fight with Amanda Nunes, the comeback fight. Zhang Weili is absolutely that. She is somebody that you can build a division around and build a promotion around. Again,
hey, Zhang Weili. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying another fight of the night.
Oh, yeah. Zhang Weili is also the key to the biggest market in the world. 2 billion or so people. You know what I'm saying? And they love combat sports. Come on. Wait till we enter China. Wait till we enter China and Zhang Weili is a headliner. 100,000 people, easy. 100,000 people, easy. And another 100,000 trying to get in. That's what I foresee. Zhang Weili is the biggest thing, the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? Now, in regards to this particular matchup, her versus Thug Rose, when I look at Thug Rose, I see a physically formidable opponent. All the reach advantage. Excellent, crisp striking. The boxing is beautiful. The kicking is beautiful. Able to use all limbs. When she gets a hold of you and she's on you like a backpack, there's a good chance you're going to go to sleep to some sort of submission. Very skilled, highly, highly, highly skilled. I will say more skilled than her opponent, the champ. I will give her that. Even though the champ has 22 fights on the record, I think Rose is a more complete mixed martial artist. I think Rose is a more complete mixed martial artist, even though she's got 13 fights. Yes, you can see the growth. She has this skill, this innate ability to soak in new information. You can tell when she trains. You can see how she you know what I mean. Just by watching her hit the focus, man, you can see that when the coach calls out a certain technique, the way she lands them, you know, it's flawless performance in the weight room, not with the weight room, in the gym, and flawless performances in the cage. I mean, not many can do to Joanna Jędrzejczyk what she did to Jędrzejczyk. Not many. You know, so far in the UFC, it's been Rose and it's been Weili, and now those two are gonna face each other. Okay, though Rose is the supreme striker out of the two of them, I will give her that. I will even call her the better striker. I'll go there. But she lacks one thing that Weili has in abundance, and that's mental fortitude. Zhang Weili, you can tell she does not come from glamour. She does not come from, I'm not saying Rose comes from money or anything like that, but I think there's levels to this. Zhang Weili comes from China. The same thing Rose was talking about, communism. Try living under communism. Try living in China. It ain't easy. There's a certain mental toughness that Zhang Weili has innate to her. So Rose might be the better striker, but Zhang Weili has got a mind of an elephant. Indestructible mind. You're going to have to just murder her. Take a gun and bang. That's the only thing that's going to shut her down. A clean knockout. She's not going to give up to a submission. You're going to have to just take her head off her shoulders. Zhang Weili, I don't think she's going to go down when Rose tries to not take her down. I don't believe she's going to get the takedown. I don't believe that Rose is ready to go to that dark place. That place Weili thrives in. She thrives in these places. Thrives in it. Though Rose Namajunas is the better fighter, I see Weili winning this one in the 25-minute war. And it's not going to be an exciting match. It's not going to be what you expected. It's going to be lots of grappling. It's going to be a war of attrition. It's going to be who wants it more. When that rabbit hole gets really, truly deep and it's total darkness, I think Rose will panic first.
Wow.
Rose will panic first, and Weili will win because she is able to hold her breath underwater a lot longer than Rose. This is what I see. Though Rose is a skilled fighter, don't get me wrong, excellent martial artist, I don't think her mind is as strong as Weili. Weili will win this match only by being tougher and having a stronger mind.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I can see it. I can see it. But yeah, man. I can't wait to see it. Now we are at the main events of the evening. We have the BMF champion Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, and he's going up against the current reigning and defending 170-pound champion or welterweight champion of the world, one Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare. Uh, yeah. Oh my gosh, Nigerian Nightmare, Usman. There we go. I brain farted. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
like there was not oxygen. I needed some oxygen to get the introduction out of the way. And that I guess it this blah whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I think Usman's gonna win. I just
Mm-hmm.
do. I
Yeah.
I I didn't need to see an Usman Masvidal too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
have your full fight gap, right? If you remember the kind of articles that constituted the first matchup, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
Usman was preparing for somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He was. And literally on like what, days notice?
Mm-hmm.
Days notice, like Masvidal takes a fight. He stops in Italy from Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and on his way to Fight Island and does it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So don't tell me that, oh, I didn't have a full fight camp because I mean Usman did, and it was a completely different game plan for a completely different fighter, right?
Yep.
And this wasn't
Yep.
like Anderson Silva stepping in for John Jones at UFC 200 against DC. No, 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 because Masvidal, and he would even tell you himself, is the top of his game, right? So I don't think there's anything here, right? I think there's nothing, compared to the last fight that's going to be any different, right? The only difference, maybe Masvidal doesn't gas out, right? But again, 25 minutes of hellacious kick slams, punches, all that, whatever. That's going to befall one Game Red Masvidal. And again, after Usman's last fight, I said I'll never pick against Usman again. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
I am playing true to that statement. But again, I believe in my heart of hearts, there's nothing that Masvidal has that Usman wouldn't take, eat, and regurgitate right back to him. So it's Usman retaining his title. I think all the champions retain in this particular instance.
Mm-hmm. Um, this one here, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be there's some champions. There's some champions in history that we've seen. I believe we talked about it last week as well. When we look at a dude like Floyd Mayweather, when he fights an athlete twice, the second fight is always so easy because he's a student of the game. He's a student of the game. Let's take a look at Usman here. Usman, from the time that he was choked out way long ago in the second fight, so long ago back in 2013, he hated that feeling. He hated that feeling so much that he laid waste to the land for the next four people that he fought, all knockouts in the first round, third round knockout. He put hands on people so bad because he hated that. And then he improved his wrestling, his takedown defense, submission defense. He didn't become a super grappler, but his wrestling was on point. Later on, he did acquire a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but the hybrid has made him so confident in himself. I mean, he has been undefeated since 2013, some 8 years ago. He remains undefeated. That hybrid is the key to success in the cage. You want a base, wrestling base. That is the only thing. People say jiu-jitsu is great. Don't get me wrong. I love jiu-jitsu. I practice jiu-jitsu. But when you're in that cage, you go ahead and throw out your wrestling and use jiu-jitsu alone. See what happens to you. Okay? Go in there and do not use any of your wrestling. And let's see what happens to you. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Jiu-jitsu is fantastic, phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But in MMA, it is not the main tool that you need. Wrestling has become that thing, right? All a wrestler needs to know is how to defend against your submission. And then you got nothing. You got nothing. But you can know all the wrestling moves you want. If I am better, I am better. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's gonna happen come this weekend. George Masvidal, he's got some wrestling. George Masvidal, he works hard. George Masvidal, now he's got 6 weeks to prepare for a title match. George Masvidal is still gonna lose, and not only is he gonna lose, he's gonna lose in an easier way, an easier manner. I see George Masvidal getting stopped in the 4th round. Actually, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Usman is gonna put so much pressure on him. He's not going to know what hit him. He's going to try his blitz, which is all he's got. He's never evolved. He throws kicks, which is okay. But he is not a technical kicker. He is not a technical puncher or a technical kicker. He is heavily a street fighter. You know what I mean? He is not a technician. He's got great timing. And he's got a good punch. But he is not a student of the game. I don't feel. This is my humble opinion. I do not feel he is a student of the game. I actually think Usman is a better boxer than he is. And based on that merit, Usman wins this fight in the 4th round, ground and pound. He will stop him.
I like it. I like that even better. Just to shut Masvidal up. Now, I agree. You know, with Masvidal, he's made the most of his 15 minutes of fame. Right, with the BMF title and all that jazz, like he's made the most of it. But that, that comes to a head where you have to pay the piper. That piper is Kamaru Usman.
Yeah, and the thing is, George Masvidal is a survivor. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to talk down about him. I'm just stating facts. He's in there with a superior athlete. He is in there with a Nigerian. You know what I'm saying? He is in there with someone who lives and breathes this. You know what I mean? There is no distraction here. There is only dominance and a need to be the very best ever. This is what you have when you're dealing with Usman. Usman is not the best dude on the mic. He says a lot of corny stuff. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell did you say? Like, what was that? You know what I mean? Like a green panty night. What the hell is that? What the hell is a green panty night? You know what I mean? There's only one panty night, and that's the red panty night. But a green one, that's kind of whack. You know what I mean? That's kind of whack. That's another thing right there. That's another thing about him. He is doing his absolute best to be the best he can be. You know what I mean? And for him to say green panty night, clearly he is studying Conor McGregor. And I'm not mad at him. I mean, why reinvent the wheel? The wheel, Conor already created the wheel. And it's working perfectly, right? Why not use the same blueprint if it's working, right? He is trying to build this platform, and I appreciate that. But he's got to do a little bit better with the lines, you know. Green panty night is not a very good one, and it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. But all in all, he's got it where it matters, and that's in the cage.
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel, I know Voodoo Backsmith kind of disagrees, but you know, all of the, in my estimation, on my scorecard, guess what? All the champions are retaining, and it's cool to say, "Oh, we've got 3 title fights." Hell, that was done before this year, right? And again, we have Aljamain Sterling as a champion. That's with 3 title fights and expecting differences. Like that's what it gets you. So I'm going to say all 3 retain. I know you've got the Thug Rose and Thug Rose and Zhang Weili. That's the difference maker in terms of our picks. But yeah, well, for the better part,
I also have Wei Lee, by the way. I am picking Wei Lee to win.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Wei Lee.
the champions retain.
All champions will retain. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
In
And
the
then
words of
for this, this one, all the greatest fights are not in the main event. They're going to be in the undercard. We, the fans, are the winners here.
Absolutely. And again, for these, I think they have to reinvent the wheel or rematch or whatever. In the words of the bare naked ladies, hoo hoo hoo, it's all been done. Just say it. So again,
That's right.
thank you for getting us here at another episode of Voodoo in the Woods. And if you haven't already done so, we warmly encourage you to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to Voodoo in the Woods on YouTube and Facebook. Go ahead and follow the pages. Follow Voodoo Masters where?
Hey, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook page, Voodoo Maximus, all day, every day.
Damn right. And I'm According to Woods. And you can find me in all of those places. I mean, that same thing, but all of the places that Voodoo just said. So we will see you. Enjoy some fights because there's fights going on right now. There's LFA, PFL.
Hey. Tommy Aaron is fighting tonight, y'all. Tune in. He's gonna be on Univision, 9:30. Support my boy Tommy Aaron all day.
Yes, so shout out to the former Combate Americas, now Combate Global, right? They're doing their thing in Miami. Speaking of Combate America, like shout out to Froggy Estrada, who's gotten a fight for a bare knuckle federation. So man, a lot of fights are picking up. Business, the words of Jim Ross, business is fitting to pick up. So you better pick up where you left off here at Voodoo in the Woods. And I mean, that's right? And we even got a cool little outro that's almost the same as the intro. So check that out.